Hello guys, Jigweer back with another video of Mastercam 2022, and in this video I will show you how to machine and do the programming for a 3-axis multiple setup part using different planes. So this is going to be multiple part video as well, so it will have around 3 to 4 parts of it. In the first part I will show you how to have a setup and do the very first operations, like couple of them I would say, facing and area roughing, and then we can continue with the other operations, because this is going to be a lengthy process of how to make a setup and doing all the parameters, adjusting parameters. So rather than keeping a very long video of about couple of hours, I would prefer having a video about 30 minutes to 35 minutes. So let's get started. So it's going to be a brand new part obviously, because we finished our last video and the part was completed. In this video will show you how we will be making a new part, which I already have. I'm just going to import it. Make sure the parameters are in inches. File, merge, then you go to your wherever you have stored your part. So this time I have one part that I'm working with, 18th of September, and make sure you go to all files and select door handle. It will automatically say move the settings. Okay, the part is in metric, so they are saying prefer metric, but I personally would prefer imperial, just for the fact. I'll go to files, configuration, make it into inches automatically, click OK, there we go, and scale the part into inches. Now I will zoom in and they will be like, alright, we adjusted the part. Right click and clear colors. That's how we can have a proper well-defined part without any different colors. So now we have a solid model. First thing first, go to levels, so you can see there are different levels. If I hide others, I just want to have a look. Okay, alright. Oh, I see. Alright, that makes sense. Okay, so we will work with that's interesting. Now either we can do is we will consider this as a final part, and then later on have this, the other area, in a different setup and mill this separately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with these two for now, and I'm going to make them into one. So Control C and paste all the parameters here and delete these entities right here, right there we go. So there are 0 entities now. I can simply delete this one. I don't need these entities. Delete entities right there. Okay, the level is not there anymore. We can just use this level for some other things. We can use it for wireframe and all. So now what I'm going to do is I can make this one as bounding box, this one as solid, and add another level and name it to be wireframe, plus add another level, and I'm going to name this to be let's see, I would also need one for area roughing, which I will be showing you soon. There we go. This looks good. Yeah, turn all levels on. Alright, looks good. Perfect. So we have level 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them. I just want to make them in order. I kind of forgot how to do that. Anyways, select all entities, unselect toggle visibility, refresh levels. Alright, fine, that's fine. So we have one. The second is wireframe. So we also need a wireframe in order to machine it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have my wireframe on, and I'm going to select the entire part, and go curve all edges with 1 tau as a tolerance. That's fine. Now I have all the wireframe inside the wireframe itself, which probably I won't need all the time, but still it's better to have that. I'm going to name this one as solid 2 because that is the back side of it. Remember, the lower part of it. So I'm going to name it as wireframe solid 2. So yet I don't need all these active. I'm going to hide all of them. Just going to work with the solid and make more and more levels. So I have the wireframe now. If in case I need bounding box 0, roughing 0, solid 2 is the bottom one, which I don't need yet. So now I can work with one more wireframe that is going to be my salute boundary. That is going to be right here. Salute. I'm just gonna write it down, and I'm going to click salute boundary, select the entire parameter, click OK, and it will give me an estimate of what exactly it should look like. We have it right there. Before this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn all the levels on and adjust it or transform. Go to transform, select everything, go to transform dynamic. This is the middle of the part itself, and you're going to move this right here. But I also want the entire part to be at a lower level, so what I'm going to do the same thing again. Select everything, transform dynamic, and select this. I will go to front plane if possible. I'm going to keep it here for now. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Isometric, I'm going to use bounding box. Okay, I have salute. I'm going to turn off salute. I'm going to turn all these levels off once again. I'll go to bounding box instead. Go to wireframe back. Go back to wireframe. Click on bounding box. I'm going to select everything. Make sure and selection. Make sure you have line, corner point, center points, face point on. Click OK. Now I have everything, all the points that I would ever need. So now it's easier for me to use the transform again. Select everything, click on transform, click on dynamic, the center point right here, and just move the part right there. There we go. Hide colors, right click, hide colors. There we go. I don't need the bounding box anymore, just hide it. This is the part in the middle and also the base. So now we can see it's the origin is above the part. So click isometric. I can go to machining now. I've perfectly aligned the part the way I want it to. But oh, one more thing. I'm going to make another level for offsets. Offset entity, or basically I could have done it in salute as well. I don't need this. Anyways, just leave it. Alright, delete entities. I'm going to use the salute instead. Turn on the salute. Salute is still there. Isometric. Oh, I see. Now I see what the issue was. Okay. Do that. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. I just control Z'd everything. Going to do it again once. I messed it up. I forgot about all the other chains that I have. Going to select everything. Click on bounding box. Make a new level. Make sure you have that. Bounding box. Oh, it's already here. Going to use bounding box once again. Active level. Click on bounding box and it will show me all the parameters are already checkmarked because I already used it once. Now I have it. I'm going to select everything. Go to transform dynamic. Use this point right here and Select it on the point right there. Looks good. I'm going to select again clear colors. There we go. Now I have literally everything that I needed. Salute. Okay. Solid. Okay. I'm not going to need solid anymore. Area roughing I haven't worked with yet. Bounding box. Hide bounding box. Okay. Wireframe I don't need yet. Okay. I have this salute boundary. When I go to salute as an active level, I'm going to go to my wireframe, offset, instead of entity, click offset chains. Select this particular chain, not parallel to the C plane. Oh, okay, 3D, right here. Select everything, click OK. It says indicate a direction offset. There we go, you click on it. Oh, that's very weird. That's very weird. Wait a sec. Alright, I'm going to use salute again once. I'm going to delete entities and have another salute for this salute boundary. Click OK. Alright. Oh, I see. Oh, I see, my bad. Okay, that makes sense. Because I moved my plane to front plane, that's why it's choosing that. Happens. Delete entities, do the same thing. Salute boundaries, click OK. There we go. Now it's fine. Looks better. Perfect. So now I have this particular boundary to work with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to offset it to a certain distance. Offset chains. Select the chain and offset it outwards around 0.75 looks fine, but I also need to have some stock materials, so I will keep it to be like 1.25 to be on the safe side. More material is fine. So now I have wireframes, so now you guys can have an indication what I'm looking for and why am I doing this. If not, with time you will come to know when I start doing machining and everything. So basically we have everything that we need to start with. I can go for my toolpath now. Go to machine, go for mill and default. Click on it. The standard procedure, go to files. Make sure all the files are fine. I go with from material, assign, and clearance side, retract, feed plane, everything on. Material, whichever you have, 2024 works with me. Default program, let's say 1, not an issue. Stock setup, bounding box, you can use the same thing. Or, well, yeah, you can use the bounding box if you want. Okay, not an issue. Wait a sec. Okay, not an issue. Go to plane, uncheck everything that you don't need. Just keep the solid. It's going to be it's going to make your life easier to select the stock. Click OK. The same thing applies here. You don't need these because you already have the bounding box. Click OK. You can see around 2.557, so I'm going to keep it to 2.75, and 6.45, let it to be 6.75 again, so 1.7 in terms of my Z value. So I'm going to be keeping it around 2 inches, which looks fine. 0 on X 0 and on Z 20 thou for the facing, like usual. Alright, that's our raw stock material. You can see some additional material on the side. I'm going to click isometric. Alright, now I can finally start my machining. Before that, I always save. That's just my habit. I'm going to save it where I need to. The Mastercam and wireframe. It's going to save it as 1. So now we can finally do the machining. First things first, facing is always there. We always know. Facing is always the same tool. We know it's face mill. 3-inch face mill by standard. You can change the parameters if you want. Keep it around 40, 5000 or 4000. Plunge you can keep 10. Not an issue. Cut parameters. One way, one pass, whichever it works. Make sure you have For one pass, the diameter should be, I think it should be 3 inches or less. Let's see, you'll come to know eventually. Maximum roughing, you can just turn it off. You can just cut 20 thou anyways. Clearance on all absolute, that's what I prefer. Top of stock 20, okay fine. 1.2, 100 thou above oh sorry, 0.12, 100 thou above stock. Retract is fine, not an issue. Plain, all top, coolant on. Let's see, first operation is done. It works, and it works fine. I'm going to increase the speed a little bit. There we go. It's just facing out the entire thing. Looks good. Alright, now so the next one is going to be a little bit challenging because we need to get rid of all this extra material, and I also need to make sure I maintain the geometry that I need to. So for that, if I go back to my level and turn on my salute, this is what I need. Because you can see I made this. If I go to my top plane, you can see that I made this particular profile bigger than the stock material itself. That's for a reason. I wanted to offset these lines outside so that I can machine within this region and still chop off the extra raw stock material that I would have in real life. So it's important to keep the practicality in check while you are doing the programming, which makes your life easier. Go to your tool paths again. So this time we are using another more advanced 3D instead of 2D. That's what we have been using so far. 3D area roughing. This is a, for these kind of part you can see that they have different shapes, weird shapes, so it becomes hard by just using 2D wireframe toolpaths. So now you can come up with area roughing where you need, they're asking you to select machining region, which is which material do you want to machine. That's basically what they're asking. You click select entities, oh, and select, it's just going to select the solid, so don't worry about it even if you have wireframe. And selection is saying that okay, we are going to leave 50 thou on stock and floor 50 thou as well. Well, I prefer 50 thou is fine because it's going to chop off a lot of material. Then later on you can just change some limits and do another contour or another area roughing as a finish. I think that's a better way. Avoidance region we don't have any, but in general, just to let you guys know what avoidance geometry is, if there are two solids or if you just want to machine this particular area for now, then you will say that you want to machine this part and you want to avoid all the other geometry. That's how it works. So we can go to tool, we can select tool. For generally these kind of stuff I'm going to use bull. For finishing we can use flat or whichever we need to depending on the material that we are going to leave. So here bull for now equal to 0.5, half an inch, that's what I prefer. Around 625 thou, okay. 44,000 and lunge around 10 point. Cut parameters, step down around 250 thou, so basically half of the tool diameter. It's saying you can keep it less because it's going to be a lot of material cutting if you look at it. So you can keep it to be like 100 thou, that's fine. Tool diameter, how much you want to keep tool down within. 500 is way too much, 100 is still fine I guess. So this is basically the top of stock and the bottom of the stock or the depth. When you click adjust and detect limit, it's automatically going to give you some number. You can round it off or just add some material so that you can adjust it, that you don't need to have a particular value of depth. So it's like you can add some material as breakthrough in other operations. So negative 1.77, I'm going to keep it negative 2 for now. Top is fine, plain, top are fine, coolant on, click OK. Let's see, there we go. Alright, that's interesting. I'm skipping a lot of material here and there. I wasn't expecting that for sure. I just want to have a look at geometry itself. Avoidance region. Okay, not an issue. Toolpath control. Oh, I've completely forgot about containment region or the boundary. So this is the region we are going to specify that okay, don't go beyond this. This is the region that it can actually cut in. So, and stay inside, make sure. Compensation, I keep it inside, you can also keep it center. Not big of an issue. And offset distance, include or exclude, it's already, you don't need to. If you have this term on which says include tool radius, so total offset distance automatically comes out to be 0.25, so you don't need to offset it anyway. So we have, now it's going to show a huge difference. There we go, it's regenerating. There we go. Initially it was just trying to cut extra material and just leaving around weird shapes. Now it's proportionate. Although the depth, the step overs are 100 thou, that's what we kept. We can keep it like 200 because the diameter of the tool is half an inch and it have the ability to cut more. We can keep it to half of the tool. I'm pretty sure it in practical life it will work fine with whatever the ways they are. And now we can go for whatever value we need. So we can verify it once how it's going to cut. How does it look? There we go. Alright, I'm going to select both the operations. First of all, save it obviously and just verify it for once, like how it's going to cut and how the parameters are going to work, because that's very important. Condition should be collision on, verify colors. There we go. Yeah, I know, like there's a lot of extra side that I've kept, or the air region you can say, that is cutting air, but it's still better than cutting excessive material that we actually need. So it's cutting off the entire material, you can see. There we go. So this is basically what we were looking for in order to have some material out of it. It chunk off the flat of it, and now we have more or less whatever we needed to work with, or very similar to the shape that we want as a final product. So in this video that was pretty much it. In next upcoming videos I will continue with the same part and the same operations, and we will add on more and more operations and reach the final product. So thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Bye.